Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, what do you need to know about maritime law? If you are involved in a sea accident, you may have questions about your rights and remedies under maritime law. This article will discuss the differences between the jurisdiction of state court and admiralty court, as well as topics such as vicarious liability and statutes of limitation. If you are not sure that you need to know to file a maritime law claim, we recommend you read our free introductory guide. This will help you get started on your path to justice. Okay, admiralty court have limited jurisdiction. In cases of commerce involving ships, admiralty court have limited maritime law jurisdiction. Although admiralty court have jurisdiction over maritime contract, they have no statute of fraud. A good example of this is the time towboat v. Schooner Francis McDonald case from 1925. The court found that a contract between two parties to repair a ship or build a new one did not fall under admiralty jurisdiction. One reason why admiralty court have limited jurisdiction over maritime claims is that the federal rules require that the court have jurisdiction over the defendant in a case. In admiralty cases, however, this is not always the case. Federal admiralty jurisdiction requires that a defendant be located on navigable waters or have a connection to maritime activity. While the casino boat accident occurred on a river that has navigable, the record indicates that the portion of the river was not. Consequently, the district court remanded the case to the federal court to determine the issue of subject matter jurisdiction. While there are some cases where admiralty jurisdiction extends to private pleasure craft, many other situations don't. For example, a domestic flight from Cleveland, Ohio to Portland may doesn't qualify as a sea voyage. Moreover, the court ruled that the ownership of the pleasure craft didn't violate navigability rules. This ruling is significant because it established the extent of admiralty jurisdiction over recreational vessels. State courts have concurred jurisdiction. The doctrine of comity in the United States is based on the principle that state courts have concurrent jurisdiction over federal court. However, this principle is not absolute. For example, the federal court may not have exclusive jurisdiction over a state maritime law claim. A state court may have jurisdiction over a maritime law claim if it's not otherwise governed by the federal laws. This doctrine is governed by the Town Box test, which refers to the jurisprudence of the lower court. Under federal law, admiralty courts have exclusive jurisdiction over a variety of cases. Admiralty cases, for example, involve remedies against a vessel or cargo. However, states have concurrent jurisdiction over admiralty claims under the savings to suitors clause. State court can also exercise impersonal jurisdiction. These circumstances make it hard to determine which court has jurisdiction over maritime claim. However, if you don't have the funds to hire an attorney, you can sue in your state court. When it comes to maritime law, federal and state courts share concurrent jurisdiction. Although the federal court have exclusive jurisdiction over admiralty cases, state court also have maritime jurisdiction. In the latter case, a plaintiff must obtain the consent of the federal court to sue a state court. This is the case in many states. It is important to understand the difference between concurrent and exclusive jurisdiction and how it affects your legal right. And then the next, vicarious liability. In maritime law, the principle of vicarious liability is applied to certain situations. For example, in the case of a ship collision, a company's negligence becomes a vicarious liability, making the ship owners liable for the actions of its crew. Vicarious liability is a legal concept that originated in the 18th century and refers to contract outside the employment remit of the employer. In some cases, vicarious liability doesn't apply. However, in a case such as Alter v. Dixon, where a passenger was injured, but the court ruled that the company's negligence was not a breach of its responsibility clause. In the maritime realm, vicarious liability arises when one party bears a portion of the responsibility for another party's actions. Vicarious liability can arise in situation in which one party has a relationship or some kind of control over the third party, such as an employer who is liable for the action of its employee. It is also used to hold employers liable for the negligence of their employees. The principle of vicarious liability applies to employers as well as ship owners. In general, vicarious liability applies to the ship owner's employees as well as its servants, while the concept of vicarious liability in maritime law may seem eminently fair. It is not necessarily a practical one. In fact, a ship owner's vicarious liability must be limited in order to keep maritime transport efficient. In order to achieve a comprehensive change, Congress and the Supreme Court will need to take action on the issue. Statute of limitation. In maritime law, the statute of limitation limits the time allowed for a case to be filed. Depending on the specific, the statute of limitation may be shorter or longer than in other cases. Before filing a lawsuit, it is important to understand the statute of limitation and when it applies. A maritime case involving loss or damage to property is unique, and the statute of limitation can affect your case. The statute of limitation can help you pursue your claim in the shortest time possible. When determining whether a time limit applies to a claim, maritime court often refer to statutes of limitation as a guide. The 3-year statute in particular may be cited to guide a court applying laches analysis. However, if the time limit is shorter than 3 years, a maritime court may consider a laches analysis and may use the applicable state statute of limitation as its guidance. While there is no absolute statute of limitation in maritime law, a claim must be filed within 3 years of the cause of action. In some cases, a long time frame applies, like when a maritime accident causes a permanent injury. However, this time frame may be shorter for claims involving exposure to benzene or asbestos dust. A maritime attorney can explain this further. And then personification of a ship under maritime law. The doctrine of personification of a ship under maritime law is a basic principle of action in rem, which dates back to the 16th century in English maritime court, but was rejected in the late 19th century. The doctrine of personification is based on a procedural theory of law that states that an action in rem is merely a means of forcing a ship owners to appear in court. This theory was adopted by American court, who held that an action in rem must be thrown against a vessel whose owners had no interest in defending the ship. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video, and bye bye.